Myself, Dr. Deepika Patel from Microbiology Department, GMC Surat. So today's topic is cystodes, topic of parasitology. In cystode, we will include Echinococcus species and Hymenopsis nana. Today the learning objectives are causative agent of these two parasites, life cycles, pathogenesis, clinical feature, complications, epidemiology, laboratory diagnosis, and their treatment and prevention of these two parasites. Now, classification of cystodes. There are two types of classification in cystode. First one is classification based on habitat. According to their habitat, they are classified into two types. Intestinal cystodes, they habitat in the intestine of the humans. Or second one is a somatic or tissue cystodes. Larvae from forms are found in human muscles or organs. In first one, intestinal cystodes, for examples, Diphyllobothrium species. Second one is a Taenia species. They are Taenia solium and Taenia saginata that causing intestinal teniasis. Third one is a H. nana species or Hymenopsis species. Second one, that is somatic or tissue cystodes. They are found in human muscle or organs. For examples, Taenia solium causing cysticercosis, Taenia multiceps, and Echinococcus species. Echinococcus species is the agent of hydatid disease affecting the liver. Now, second type is systemic classification of cystodes. In this, we will categorize into the order, family and genus. They are two in order. First one is Pseudophyllidea and second one is a Cyclophyllidea. In Pseudophyllidea, family is Diphyllobothridia. Genus is Diphyllobothrium and second one is a Spirometra. In order, second is Cyclophyllidea. Cyclophyllidea contains family Ctenidia. Second one is a Hymenopsis and third one is a Diphyllidia. Genus contains in Ctenidia, it contains Taenia and second one is a Echinococcus species. In Hymenopsis and Diphyllidia, Diphyllidium. Now, morphology of cystodes, as in figure shows, adult form shows on the upper part of the adult worm, it contains booklets on the rostrum. Second is sucker, third is neck region, and fourth part is strobila. Strobila contains its three parts. First one is a immature proglottids, second one is a mature proglottids, and third one is a gravid proglottids. Adult form found in the intestine of man. Shape of this is it is a long, segmented, flattened, dorsoventrally tap-like worms, hence also called as a tapeworms. Size of it is few millimeters to several meters. Body structure. Adult worm consists of three parts as I already mentioned. First one is a head or scolex, second one is a neck region, third one is a strobila, that is body or trunk. Now, figure shows mature proglottids of cystodes. They are the Pseudophyllidea cystodes or Cyclophyllidea cystodes. In first figure A, we will see about first one, common genital pore, that is shown in figure, common genital pore. Then uterine pole is here. Now, testicular follicles, blue in colors, vas efferentia are blue in color, vitelline duct that is present, red in appearance, vitelline glands are present that are the red in color, and O types. Then Mehli's gland, vagina is present, and blue color tube is present. This is a vas deferens. Then red color tube is convoluted uterus, and seminal receptacles and bilobed ovary is present. In cyclophyllidian cystures, blue in color is a vas deferens, then that is a tube-like, and vas efferentia are present. Branched uterus is red in color and branch is present. Bilobed ovary, then it connects in the oviduct. Seminal receptacles is present, and O types, then vitelline glands and seminal vesicle. Common genital pore is present here. Serous and serous sac is also present, that is described. Now, second one is the egg. As in figure shows, eggs are released into the uterus following fertilization and fill the gravid proglottis. As in figure A, pseudophyllidian cystures, egg is this type of egg. It has a knob at one end and operculum that is on the second end. And cyclophyllidian cystures has embryo. In embryo, 3 pair of hooklets are present. Covering of it is embryophore, and embryophore covered by egg cells. Then cyclophyllidian cystures after the loss of egg cells that present here and without egg cell. Figure shows larva of cyclophyllidian cystures. A. Larva of cysticercoid, that is B. Larva of Cysticercus cellulosus, that is C. Larva of coeneus, that is D. And hydatid cyst, that is present here. Embryonated eggs undergo further development to form a larva. Now, difference between pseudophyllidian and cyclophyllidian cystures are: first point is scolex. In pseudophyllidian cystures, it bears 2 growths, and in cyclophyllidian cystures, scolex bears 4 suckers. Some species bear rostrum with hooklets. Second topic is uterus in pseudophyllidian cysture is convoluted, that is roseted in shape, unbranched, open, and the uterine pole. In cyclophyllidian cystures, uterus is branched and closed as a blind sac. No uterine pole is present. In genital pore, pseudophyllidian cysture, it is situated ventrally in the midline. In cyclophyllidian cysture, genital pore is situated laterally. In vitelline gland, pseudophyllidian cysture, that is scattered throughout the segments. And cyclophyllidian cysture, vitelline glands are single mass behind ovary. Eggs in the pseudophyllidian cysture, that is already mentioned in before figures, it is covered by one layer. It is called egg cell. Freshly passed eggs in feces are unembryonated. Eggs are operculated and the embryo is ciliated. In cyclophyllidian cysture, eggs are covered by 2 layers, egg cell, and second one is the embryophore. In cyclophyllidian cysture, eggs are embryonated from the beginning, and eggs that are not operculated and the embryo is not ciliated. That is the difference between eggs of pseudophyllidian cysture and cyclophyllidian cysture. Larval form of pseudophyllidian cysture is solid, and in cyclophyllidian cysture, larval form contains bladder-like sac. Now we will see about Echinococcus species. Echinococcus cause hydatid disease in men. There are 4 species that infect humans. First one is Echinococcus granulosus or E. granulosus that causes cystic hydatid disease or cystic echinococcosis. Short form is CE. Second one is E. multilocularis that causes alveolar hydatid disease or alveolar echinococcosis. Third one is E. vogeli that causes polycystic hydatid disease. Fourth one is E. oligothus that causes unicystic hydatid disease. Now we will see about species of Echinococcus, that is Echinococcus granulosus. First we will see history. It is also called as a dog tapeworm. Hydatid cysts were recognized from the time of Hippocrates and Galen. Hartmann in 1695 had demonstrated the adult form in dogs, while Goes in 1782 had described the larval form, that is a hydatid cyst. Genotypes. Recently, it was known from molecular typing that Echinococcus granulosus complex comprises of 10 genotypes. The genotypes that are differed from each other in their intermediate host, geographical distribution, morphology of adult and larval stage, and also protoscolex production. Genotype G1 to G3 cause 88% of human cases. Now, habitat of Echinococcus granulosus. The larval form, that is a hydatid cyst, is found in liver and other viscera of man and other herbivores. The adult worm reside in the dog's intestine. Morphology. Morphological form are adult worm, egg and larva. In adult worm, it is a much smaller than other cystodes. It measures 3 to 6 mm long that consists of head, neck and strobila. Eggs. Eggs are morphologically similar to Taenia eggs that consist of an oncosphere with 6 oocytes surrounded by embryophore. Larva. The larva form of E. granulosus is called as a hydatid cyst. Life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus. Host. It has life cycle that passes through the 2 hosts. First one is the definitive host. Dogs and other canine animals are the definitive host. Intermediate host. Sheep and other herbivores are intermediate host. Man act as an accidental intermediate host. Man is a dead end. Infective form is eggs are the infective form. Now we will see in figure. Man is the accidental host and sheep is the intermediate host. Acquire infection by ingestion of food contaminated with dog's feces containing eggs. It occurs in an intermediate host. Hexacanth embryo hatches out and penetrates in the intestine. Through circulation, it develops into the hydatid cyst. It is the life cycle in intermediate host. Then, dogs acquire infection by consumption of viscera of infected sheep containing hydatid cyst. If man acquire infection, then man is the dead end. And ingested collects invaginate into the intestine. Adult worm in small intestine, as in figure shows, it has a scolex, rostrum, head and strobila. Fertilization occurs and eggs are passed in the feces and they acquired infection by ingestion of food and contaminated with dog's feces containing eggs. This is the figure shows life cycle of Echinococcus granulosus. Now, hydatid cyst, that is the larval form of Echinococcus granulosus and infective form. In figure shows hydatid sand is present, then daughter cyst of hydatid cyst. It contains scolex. Then brood capsules are present. First covering of this capsule is endocyst. Covering of endocyst is called as a ectocyst, and ectocyst covered by pericyst. Pathogenesis is related to the deposition of the hydatid cyst, that is the larval form of parasite, in the various organs of human body. Fully developed hydatid cyst of E. granulosus is unilocular, subspherical in shape, and size vary from few millimeter to more than 30 centimeters. It appears as a fluid-filled bladder-like cyst, or it is also called as a sac-like cyst. Cyst wall consists of three layers, that is the pericyst, ectocyst and endocyst. Outer layer that derived from host is pericyst. Middle layer parasite derived, that is the ectocyst. Inner layer parasite derives, that is the endocyst, and it is the germinal layer 20 to 25 micrometer thickness. Its function is to form the ectocyst outside, and on the inner side it forms brood capsule and secretes the hydatid fluid. Figure shows white color surgically resected hydatid cyst from the liver. Hydatid fluid, it is a clear colorless to pale yellow, pH of 6.7 and specific gravity of 1.005 to 1.010. Chemical composition of hydatid cyst is, it contains sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, sodium phosphate and succinate. It is antigenic, toxic and anaphylactic. Brood capsules arises from the inner side of the endocyst and contains number of protoscoliosis. Now clinical feature or symptoms. Infection usually occurs in childhood but gets manifested in the adulthood of life. Site of infection, most common site is or location of the cyst is liver, that is 60 to 70% in the right lobe, or lung 20%. In kidney it is a 4% and 4% in muscle. Multi-organ involvement is increasing, reported in children. The cyst grows up to 5 to 10 centimeter in size within the first year, can survive 4 years or even decades. Asymptomatic. Many cases are asymptomatic and infection is detected only incidentally by imaging study like CT MRI. Symptoms occur due to pressure effect of the enlarging cyst or obstruction into the biliary tree or bronchus, secondary bacterial infection and anaphylactic reaction. Epidemiology of E. granulosus. It is a worldwide in distribution. In the world, highest incidence has been reported from Central Asia, that is greater than 10 per 1 lakh population, which may be up to 27 per 1 lakh population in Tajikistan. In India, hydatid disease is reported from various places, that is in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Kashmir, Maharashtra and West Bengal. Lab diagnosis. Hydatid fluid microscopy. We can make direct mount or staining with acid fast stain. In this staining or microscopy, we will detect brood capsule and protoscoliosis. Second one is the antibody detection by ELISA that uses D2T and 2B2 antigens. DIGFA is a dot immunogold filtration assay and Western blot. DIGFA is used for simultaneous detection of serum antibodies against cyst fluid, AGB, and Protoscolex extract of E. granulosus. Molecular methods: PCR, RFLP, CR, and molecular typing. That is 10 genotypes. Most common in India is type 1. Skin test, Casson's test, that is used to demonstrate type 1 hypersensitivity reaction in E. granulosus infection. Imaging method are X-ray, USG. In USG, it demonstrates water lily sign. In CT scan or MRI. Figure shows histopathologically section showing all three layers of cyst wall, that is erycyst, ectocyst, and endocyst. Endocyst with attached brood capsule. Histological examination is done by Giemsa stain, H&E stain, and periodic acid skip stain that demonstrate cyst wall and attached brood capsules. We will see the WHO classification of cystic echinococcus granulosus. Types of this is CL, CE1, 2, CE5. Activity of CL is in USG finding cystic lesion and no visible cyst wall. In CE1, activity is present and visible cyst and wall of this cyst and internal ecocyst. It shows snowflake signs. In CE2, it is active and USG finding is visible cyst wall and internal septation. It is seen like a honeycomb appearance. Type CE3, transitionally active and USG finding of this, it have detached laminar membranes or may be partially collapsed and floating within the cyst cavity, known as a water lily sign appearance. Type CE4, activity is inactive and USG finding non-hemorrhageous mass. CE5, activity is inactive and USG finding, that is cyst with a thick calcified wall. CT scan showing calcifying hydrated cyst in the liver. CT scan detect 90 to 100% of cases. It detects more accurately the numbers, location of the cyst and the complication of this cyst. It is superior to detect the calcified lesion. Calcification occurs in 10% of cyst. It is superior to USG to detect smaller cyst, extrahepatic cyst, and to differentiate hydrated cyst from other cystic lesion. CT can also be used as a prognostic marker. Treatment. Therapy for cystic echinococcosis is based on viability, size, and location of the cyst. This is guided by USG and overall health of the patient. PAIR, full form of PAIR is puncture, aspiration, injection, and re-aspiration. It is recommended for single hepatic cyst, CE1 lesion, and uncomplicated CE3 lesion. PAIR is contraindicated for superficially located cyst because of the risk of the rupture. Inaccessible cyst or extrahepatic cyst communicating to biliary tree. Inactive lesion should be managed with observation only. Surgery, it is reserved for cases where PAIR is contraindicated or refractory, secondary bacterial infection, and third, advanced disease. Antiparasitic agents that is useful in the treatment of Echinococcus granulosus is, that is albendazole, is a drug of choice given to prevent recurrence and to reduce the size of the cyst before surgery, or PAIR-N is given at 15 mg per kg daily in 2 divided dose 1 week before to 4 weeks after the procedure. Complicated and multivesicular cyst may require longer duration. Pulmonary cyst, in pulmonary cyst, preoperative albendazole should be avoided. Praziquantel is the alternative. Percutaneous thermal ablation. It is a non-invasive method that involves percutaneous radiofrequency ablation of the germinal layer of the cyst. Prevention of this infection of echinococcosis, that is prevented by administering praziquantel to infected ducts, to improve personal hygiene, to reduce contamination of food and water with dog species, vaccinating the species. Fourth one is a limitation of stray dog population. Now, second parasite is Hymenolapis nana. It is also called as a dwarf tapeworm. Name Hymenolapis refers to a thin membrane covering the eggs. Hymen means membrane, lapis means covering, and nana means small in size. The most common tapeworm infecting throughout the world 50 to 70 millions of the people. Prevalence range from 0 to 4%, with highest prevalence in children is 16%. Morphology is same as we have discussed, but single row of hooklets and sucker. The adult form is small, 1 to 4 cm in length, and consists of head, neck and strabilla. Second morphological form, that is egg, and it is after fertilization, it shows 3 pair of hooklets, then oncosphere. It is covered by outer layer, that is inner membrane and outer membrane. Polar thickening is present and polar filaments are also present. Yolk granules are present. And third form is cysticercoid larva. Life cycle of H. nana. When acquired by accidental ingestion of rat flea or ingestion of contaminated food and water with eggs, or auto-infection of eggs. After 4 to 5 days, larva is present, cysticercoid larva, then adult worm in the small intestine. After fertilization, egg is present in feces. Indirect cycle, auto-infection is present or ingestion of contaminated food and water with eggs. In indirect cycle, eggs are ingested by insects, flea, that is the rat flea. Cysticercoid larva in rat flea is present, and accidental ingestion of rat flea by man, and cycle is continued. Lab diagnosis of H. nana. Stool examination. In stool examination, non-bile stain egg with polar filaments are present. Hooklets is present, 3 pair of hooklets covering are present. Eosinophilia is also present. Treatment. Praziquantel is the treatment of choice since it acts against both the adult worms and the cysticercoid larva in the intestine villi. Nitazoxanide 500 mg by a day for 3 days may be used as an alternative. Niclosamide can also be given. Thank you.